chocolate, chocolate, warm chocolate, not hot chocolate, warm chocolate, sweet chocolate, not too sweet. I want my own piece. I don't want to share. This is for me. Chocolate. Soothing chocolate. Soothing chocolate. Welcome to SweetSpot. We're making molten chocolate lava cakes. Molten chocolate lava cakes. But before we get to that, I wanted to say thanks for watching. If you're a subscriber, thanks for that. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoy the video, hit the subscribe button in YouTube. I get a lot of comments and feedback on my videos, and I appreciate them, good, bad, and different. Some people like the music, some people hate the background music I put in there. I got an interesting number of comments and emails on the color of my pink shirt a couple episodes ago. People seem to love the shirt. Well, I found this app for my watch. You can simply change the color of your clothing pretty easily. It's called Clothing Color. You simply select a piece of clothing you want to color, and then you can rotate the dial to any color you want. We'll go with green today. A little lighter. Nice. There are basically two methods to make a chocolate lava cake. One approach is to basically underbake a rich chocolate cake. The second approach is to embed a frozen chocolate truffle inside the cake batter. As the cake bakes and firms up, the truffle melts and becomes the molten chocolate lava, perfect at serving time. We make the truffles first because we're going to need to freeze them. In a small saucepan, bring the cream almost to a boil. Take it off the heat and immediately put in the chocolate, the butter, and the instant coffee granules. Stir in the orange zest. Transfer the mixture to a small metal bowl and put it in the freezer. Check it after about 15 to 20 minutes. The chocolate should be hard, but not super hard. Once it's firm, use a metal spoon to scrape some out, roll it into 1-inch balls, and then put them back in the freezer. We only need 6 truffles for this recipe, and this will make a few extras. You can finish them by rolling them in cocoa powder, in powdered sugar, in ground nuts, or even in coconut. Keep them in the fridge, they'll be a real treat. Easy first step. We need to crack and separate 4 eggs. I found the very best approach to this is to use cold eggs. We're going to need these to be room temperature, but you crack a cold egg and then use the very best tool you have to pull the yolk out from the white. That's your fingers. Simply swirl it around, and being cold keeps the yolk from splitting. Put the yolks in one bowl and the whites in another. Then repeat for your other eggs. Put the eggs to the side, and next we want to prep our ramekins. You're looking for about a 4 or 5 ounce ramekin. You can use a glass baking dish, make sure it's oven safe. The prep of the ramekins is pretty important because you do flip them out when you're done. If the lava cake ends up sticking into the ramekin, the thing that might explode is your mind. I find it best to put a little wad of butter on a piece of wax paper or plastic wrap and just smear it inside the ramekin. Then put a spoonful of sugar into it and swirl it around and dump the sugar back into the sugar container. And then we put a small circle of parchment paper into the bottom. It doesn't need to be exact. As long as it doesn't run up the edges, you'll be fine. Smear a little butter if you can onto the parchment paper as well. Repeat for all the ramekins or baking dishes. Into a pretty heavy-duty, moderately sized pot, we're going to put in our sugar, our milk, and the instant coffee. If you're lucky enough to find espresso powder, use it. We want the sugar to dissolve, and we want to bring this to a rapid boil. Whisk in the flour and let it cook for another minute or so. We add our chocolates. You can let them sit a moment before you stir or whisk in. When the chocolate's fully melted, add the butter. The butter is melted. One by one, we want to add the egg yolks. And stir in completely. This looks good enough to eat, but we'll keep going. Now we want to whip our egg whites stiff, but not dry. Will only take a minute or so. Perfect peaks. Take a dollop of the egg whites and just stir them in the chocolate mixture. This thins out the mixture, makes it more workable. Fully incorporate the whites. Now we want to fold in the chocolate into the egg whites. Here we're actually folding the chocolate in, scoop from the bottom, and stir over. Spin the bowl, scoop from the bottom, stir over. This maintains as much air as possible in the egg whites and keeps the mixture light and fluffy. Be careful not to overwork this mixture. And with a large spoon, carefully fill your ramekins, trying to keep the edges clean. Press in one of the chocolate frozen truffles and top it with a little extra batter, covering it completely. And put the ramekins on a baking tray. It'll be easier to transfer in and out of the oven. Then they're ready to bake, about 12 minutes in a 425 oven. They're baked. This was about 12 minutes, 12 and a half to be exact. You want the top to be a little bit crispy, a little firm. Then you want to run a thin edge knife or spatula. They're hot. Just around the edge to loosen it. Get a grip with a towel. Place the plate on top. Flip this over. And lift it up. Remember to take off the parchment paper carefully. Sprinkle with a little powdered sugar. Or a dollop of whipped cream, or a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And now we're faced with our biggest dilemma of the day. A fork or a spoon. I'm going to go with a spoon. The chocolate's just oozing out. And the taste. This still is my favorite part. Wow. Oh my. This is so delicious. It's just overwhelming with chocolate. It really is decadent. It's warm chocolate, not hot. The outside cake is wonderful. The molten chocolate. You can taste a little bit, just hints of the orange zest that we put in. The truffle's completely dissolved. This dessert's a real winner. A few steps to make it, but not too bad. The payout, the tasting, oh my, this is delicious. If you enjoyed this episode of SweetSpot, please subscribe. Appreciate your feedback in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Until next time, this is it for SweetSpot. This color app is so cool. Whee!